Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, so the other day I was looking at a post on Instagram, and the Rainbow Push Coalition was holding a rally. And in the rally, they were protesting against the deportation of illegal immigrants. And one of the media that was present, he pointed out something very interesting. He said, why is the Rainbow Push Coalition rallying or protesting the deportation of illegal immigrants? And I found that quite interesting because what he was saying is that goes against the principles of the Rainbow Push Coalition, because illegal immigrants are in direct competition with black workers. Basically, what he was saying is that these illegal immigrants were taking the jobs of poor blacks and poor whites. And he said some other things, but it was quite interesting because he almost exposed the Rainbow Push Coalition as a fraud, in other words. And I found this to be a part of my experience. You have black people who have a proud mentality that preach this black solidarity, but in my experience, have I experienced racism from white people? Yes, I have. Have I experienced racism and discrimination from black people? Most definitely. And so when I really think about, the totality of my life and my experiences, I've probably experienced more racism and discrimination from my own people, meaning black people, than I have white people. And I don't know where this self-hate, it probably comes from slavery, but we talk about racism all the time. Even in my book, African American Paradox, I talk a lot about this. Do Black Lives Matter to black people? Because we have to take accountability, for our own actions as well. So, we talk about systematic oppression. Yes. Does the system oppress? Yes, it does. The system oppresses black people and it oppresses white people, poor whites as well. And so, we as black people, we have to take accountability for our own actions. Although we have a system of oppression, when you think about somebody like Booker T. Washington, who was a slave, who taught himself how to read, taught himself how to write, who founded Tuskegee University, who was the advisor of 2 presidents. He became one of the most powerful men in the United States. Not one of the most powerful black men, but one of the most powerful men in the United States. And he started off as a slave. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, I've experienced a lot of misfortune and I've experienced oppression, because oppression definitely exists. But, there's a little sliver, there's a window of opportunity here that, we can no longer use the excuse of oppression, because, there's opportunities that abound everywhere. We just have to take advantage of it. And so when we talk about, the intermingling of races, I've heard somebody say recently that, red birds don't flock with bluebirds. Well, anything can be justified if it benefits the person acting. I have a golden doodle, so that means poodles and golden retrievers intermingle, pit bulls and Rottweilers intermingle. It's the same as, blacks and whites, we intermingle. And this is not a video because I know I'm going to have some of the naysayers that are going to say, why am I promoting white people? I'm not promoting white people. I'm just promoting the accountability of black people. All right. So, and so although we experience life differently, we can definitely coexist. All right. So, as black people, just in retrospect, we have to take accountability for our actions. And, our actions have to line up with the solidarity that we talk about. We can't just talk a good game and still remain divided. All right? So, if you want to talk solidarity, then you have to live your actions. Your actions have to be in alignment with your opinions and your beliefs.